You know, who doesn't want to live longer?
Well, as the old saying goes, it isn't the years in the life, it's the life in the years.
Well, Dan Buettner went searching for both, and he discovered unique communities where people just live longer. Now, he may have found the fountain of youth in places he calls the Blue Zones.
I would like to be 100 because I don't want to miss anything. I want to know what's happening in the world.
It's been a long 50 years. I don't know that I want to go through another 50.
I know some people that are pretty old, not 100 years old, but like 80, sometimes one person that's 92 years old. And I just imagine all the things that they've seen, all the things that they've experienced.
What was once a rare occurrence is happening more and more these days. People are living longer. But Explorer journalist Dan Buettner says it's not medical technology that is doing it. He has met an exceptional number of people over the age of 100 all around the world and has found cultures that have managed to live to 100 at a rate 3 times higher than Americans. How are they doing it? What are their secrets?
The people who can tell us are the people who are living it.
Buettner began studying and writing about areas with concentrations of some of the world's oldest people, areas that demographers call blue zones. Buettner has documented 4 of them: Sardinia, Italy; Okinawa, Japan; Loma Linda, California; and Nicoya, Costa Rica.
The second step then is to bring scientists to these places and look very carefully at their lifestyle. What are they eating? How do they socialize? Where does religion play a role? We look very carefully at those cultures.
So, what are the commonalities?
In blue zones, people don't do marathons or triathlons or pump weight. Instead, they set up their environment so they're constantly nudged into physical activity. Their homes are set up in such a way they're deconvenienced. They do things they like to do as opposed to forcing themselves in a program which people rarely stick with. They've made some effort to have the right outlook. They know their sense of purpose. They scheduled in times to downshift, to chill out, to not let stress wear on their bodies. They don't believe in diets. Instead, they eat wisely, and they eat a plant-based diet. Not to say they don't eat meat, they just minimize meat eating. They put their effort into hanging out with the right people. They put loved ones first, and everywhere, even though the definition varies from place to place, they all believe in some sort of God.
He's learned a lot from his journeys. His advice for living longer?
40-year-old, you're sort of in a sandwich generation. Taking a good chunk of your energy and putting it not only in your children, but also your parents. That provides an example for the way you want your children to treat you when you're 80. 50s is about the time you start refocusing your sense of purpose. You start putting some energy into thinking, what do I really stand for? What do my values tell me that I should be putting into this life? What is, as the Okinawans call it, what is my ikigai? Why do I wake up in the morning? In the old days when your life expectancy after retirement was 5 or 6 years, you worked really hard, you retired, you played a couple years of golf, you sat in an easy chair, and now a 60-year-old has a life expectancy of almost 2 more decades. To make sure the years beyond 60 are meaningful and vital, finding people to hang out with who still are active. And maybe that means starting to look to younger people who share some sort of physical activity you like to do. So you're socializing, you're automatically doing the behaviors that are going to help you stay younger. When you hit your 70s and 80s, that becomes even more important. This idea of a legacy. It's never too late to do things to get more years out of life.
Buettner started meeting these cultures on his cycling trips. He holds several Guinness World Records for long-distance cycling. He has been to 4 of the 5 blue zones and plans to go to the 5th this coming year. Maybe he'll be back with a new discovery and more on how we can live healthier, better, and longer. Dan Buettner first discovered blue zones on his cycling trips. Now, he's cycled more than 120,000 miles around the world, and he holds several Guinness World Records for long-distance cycling. So far, he's been to 4 of the 5 zones and plans to go to the 5th this coming year.